is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information,
Good morning, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching Morning Cafe. It's Wednesday, and that means it's Relationship Wednesday. Today we're talking about matters, of course, relationship. But the question you're asking is, would you date or marry a colleague? And that is the topic of conversation, of discussion this morning. That as well is the question on social media, so interact with us on TV47 News KE on X, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and YouTube. My handle is at Ann_Dida. You can tag me as well. There is a question there, so we'll be very, very happy to hear from you. But in a short while, there will be a number on your screen. That means you can also call in to contribute to this conversation on would you date or marry a colleague. As always, we have a very big panel in studio to help us steer this conversation forward and just to get their views on what we're talking about. Karibuni sana to TV47 and to Morning Cafe. I'll just start with you, Joyce, now that we're uko karibu na mimi. You know, when you're closer to the host, inakuangukianga. The question you're asking is, would you date or marry a colleague? Would you?
Thank you for the question. I'm Joyce Nyambura, a student at the Technical University of Kenya. And about that, the question and the topic of the day, I can't date my colleague or marry my colleague. Reason being, I would love someone who's got a different career so that I experience his perspective and whatever work he does, and I have a different career. So. And also, dating a colleague, it comes with a lot of disadvantages. You get there is maybe some jealousy. Maybe I can't even, when I'm so close with another colleague other than my spouse, there is that issue that comes around. My spouse would be like, why are you staying a lot with that person? Why are you interacting deeply with that person? Yes.
Valid reasons. But we'll be coming back to you to tujue ni kwa nini more of those disadvantages ni gani. Skuli, will you date or marry a colleague? You're Skuli, right? Okay.
So thank you. I'm Titus alias Skuli Kid Poet. I'm a law student, University of Nairobi Parkland, partially student at East African University. Back to the question, I cannot date person from my area. I cannot date my colleague. Reason being, well, especially when it's a lady, because my partner will definitely be a lady. Ladies are biologically, you know yourselves, they are biologically emotional. And when things go south, it gets hard for ladies to separate their emotions and their work. So, ataleta drama kwa kazi, and yeah, so I cannot date from my... Okay. It is more of a gamble, by the way. You can never be sure of the outcome. You can never be sure.
50-50 or 70-30 if you're gambling about that? You can never?
I can never.
Okay.
It is like a gamble. You don't know the outcome.
All right. But you have to do it so that it can be a gamble. You cannot gamble something you are not doing.
No,
you
for
have
men,
to
men
try.
in the house, men watching me, just run.
All right, let's hear from Mercy. Mercy, would you date or marry a colleague?
Thank you for having me. My name is Masi Mwende, a soon to be a finance graduate from the Management University of Africa. I wouldn't say that I can never totally date my colleague. If circumstances force me to, I mean, why not? But a bigger percentage, 70% of it is that I wouldn't go for my colleague because we are going to be exposed under the same pressure. We are going to not have diverse options about life because we are in the same ground. So I want you to go work from the other end. We get home and then you tell me, you know, work was like this. It will be even easier for me to soothe you because of what you're going through. Unlike if we've gotten the same pressure from our bosses. Tutafika tu home kila mtu amejam. Na sita kucomfort juu hata mimi nimejam. Yeah.
All right, very, very valid reasons there. Korir, would you date or marry a colleague?
Okay, thank you. I'm Korir Jonah from the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, an actuarial scientist student. For me, I would give a 60-40 because at first, let's say, love does not have a workplace ID, but the HR department do have. So I will give a 60-40 since love does pros and cons. So if we are going to date like in a colleague, we should maintain professionalism, transparency, maturity. So it comes with a lot of responsibilities more than not dating. So I'll just give it a 60-40.
60-40. 60 being to date, not dating, 40 being
40
to date. All right. Sparrel, will you date or marry a colleague?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. Mandela Sparrel, a nutritionist by profession. And for me, I would say I would really love to date a colleague because being close, you end up having that proximity, affection, and it makes you more close and more strong, and you end up falling in love over and over. So for me, it's a yes.
Okay, amazing. Peter, is that Peter? Would you date or marry a colleague?
Thank you for having me. Personally, I wouldn't date a colleague because I prefer keeping my professional and personal lives separate. This is because I'd like to avoid work dynamics that come with dating a colleague. Also, when you date a colleague, you can bring domestic issues into workplaces, which is not ethical. Yeah.
Now that's Dishon. This is Peter now. Peter, would you date or marry a colleague?
Yes, for me, first of all, let me start with my name. I'm Peter Marite, former student leader, Technical University of Kenya, and doing financial accounting, year 4. For me, I will date a colleague because it will encourage maturity and professionalism. The font and the camaraderie that you create at home, you can transfer it to the work environment and you find it enjoyable. Working with your partner, taking an example of even the example of a Citizen TV presenter.
I knew you were going there.
Lulu.
I saw it coming.
Lulu Hassan and Rashid Abdallah, they are really doing well. And they are presenting news professionally. So there is that maturity, the growth and supporting. You support each other. So for me, dating a colleague is something that is good. And also I have another friend who dated a colleague, I will not really say from class 1, but maybe from
high school
up to the working environment, and they are doing well. Yes, they correct each other. They give each other, let's say, the profound support. Yeah, so I will give it 90%.
90%.
Yes.
How about the concerns that are being raised in studio, of course, about professionalism and the emotional imbalance that comes with dating a colleague? how can that now be, people can navigate that if you choose to date a colleague and then you decide that we are going to stay professional? Because you're saying that if you're dating your colleague, it helps you be stronger in your relationship, it helps you be more, more romantic to each other. But you cannot bring romance to work. I don't know if you can, but now how do you navigate that situation where you have to remain professional, you do not now harm your work, do your work very well, but still just be in love with your person?
Okay, thank you for the question. You find at some workplace they define clearly guidelines that govern that particular job. So having a collaboration back at home that you love each other, I don't think you will transfer the type like cuddling and so to the job, but you will have the guideline taking place and they will control you. In fact, you will enjoy working closely to your partner and you will navigate pressures because you have a support system. I don't know if you have ever found yourself working close to your partner here, I don't know. But but it is so sweet because you will try to outshine your colleague, your partner, so that she cannot or he cannot seize your
Is that
weaknesses.
Healthy competition or unhealthy competition?
It is healthy competition in terms of the company production because out of that the company will get efficiency and effective productivity. So for me, I think the pressures going around that dating a colleague, it might cause emotional setback. I think it will not happen because of you will have to exercise that emotional intelligence. You'll have to exercise that maturity and mutual respect at workplace.
All right. Now, the panelists in studio, I would rate that as 70-30, percentage as to what you're saying, because kuna wale wanasema they would, kuna wale wanasema they will not. But if you're talking about healthy competition benefiting company production, Peter, you're talking about the company, but now what happens to the relationship in this case, Titus? If they are looking at, competing, but Peter anasema this is healthy competition to benefit that company. Don't you think that wakienda nyumbani itakuja ikuwe vita? Of course, ulijaribu kuni outshine, you're doing 1, 2, 3 at the office, you're trying to be the boss's favorite. Don't you think hiyo inaletanga sasa inafanya relationship inakuwa weak a little bit?
I understand where Peter is coming from, and he talked something about emotional intelligence. Well, Peter, my friend, emotional intelligence is not for everyone, and it will hamper the work ethics and even relationship matters at home. Well, assuming just like a man, you are a man, and at work, you happen to luckily umekuwa promoted, and you are supposed to oversee authorities, and obviously you are not utakuwa biased kidogo because you cannot oversee authorities to your partner. Why? Because you'll think that you are masculine enough. Ama when you are trying to give authorities to your partner, you will go home and atakuwa zile za hata chakula atakuletea baridi. Wasichana wako na hiyo kiburi. So question ukimuuliza sijui atakuja na ile basis ya what did you do to me, unaona? And definitely girls are jealous, of course. So anytime that girl sees you with another partner at work, or she will start thinking.
Just hold on to that point. We'll be coming back to you. But let's get this call from Eunice. Eunice, good morning.
Yes,
Eunice is calling us from Lolonga. Talk to us.
Yes, I'm Eunice from Lolonga.
Okay.
I just want to participate in this. Would I date or marry a colleague?
Yes.
60% no. 40% yes.
Why?
60% because okay, I once had a crush in high school.
Okay.
And that was just a crush. So before the crushing, I lived a very normal life. Very normal. But then when I had a crush, you realize akikuwa karibu unashindwa hadi you can't live normally. You want to impress this person. So now coming back to work, will you really give that what your boss wants? Somehow you find like you want to impress the person, and you don't do what you are really required to. So no, working with marrying a colleague, no.
You would not marry them, just casually date them.
Yeah, and I would date them because the dating turned up to marriage.
Yes.
Yes. So on 40%, I would date them if maybe we are working the same company, but maybe different departments. And on the other hand, if you find a mature person, now the problem comes when you find someone who is maturing. Because in case of any little misunderstanding, maybe home, hiyo itakuja kazini, which will affect you, will affect the work, will affect everything. But then if you find someone who is mature enough to know that this is my partner, we are supposed to support each other, to help each other, then you are going to go, because that what you experience at home will actually come to work, which will help you even grow. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Eunice, for contributing to this conversation and for being part of us through the call. Asante sana. So Eunice is saying, and this question goes to you, Joyce, of course. Let me welcome you, John. Karibu sana. We are asking, would you date or marry a colleague, before I get to Joyce with that question? There, have your microphone.
Will I date or marry a colleague? It brings on its own mixed results, because I believe dating or marrying a colleague makes it easier to explain myself, or actually removes the need to explain myself. In previous settings, I offered you as an example, someone doing in your line of work. You're always on call, anytime. You can be in Nairobi today and you'll be in Mandera tomorrow. And your timeline is not that fixed. Your availability is also not that fixed. So if you're not with someone, if you have someone who you're not from the same industry per se, you'll find that becomes difficult, because you're running on different timelines. You'll have to sacrifice, you'll have to compromise, you'll have to do all that. But for someone who you're in the same line of work, or you work in the same fields, or you work in the same company, you find that you're working with the same timeline, number one. So it becomes very easy to explain. It becomes relatable. You know, Karo HR akikukosea leo, you don't have to go explaining who Karo is.
Yeah.
You see, because you both probably are mistreating you watu wawili. You see, so it becomes easy to form communication and a bond that is relatable on that end. See, on the other end is power. You know, power. How do people handle power, especially if you're in different cadres of work? You know, how will you handle the power?
Yeah.
You know, because akifika kazi ni MD. Mkifika nyumbani is something else.
Ni babe.
Yes. Naona. So if he tells you something, maybe hiyo siku asubuhi alifanya kitu mbaya. And then mfike kazini. You know. And that is actually what Esther is talking about, maturity.
Eunice.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Eunice is talking about maturity, knowing boundaries, knowing that this is work, this is not home. Do not bring your home. Oh, sorry. Do not bring your work
issues.
home, and do not bring your home issues to work. You see, but also you find that in the event things don't go too well between the two of you. Office politics again comes into place, because in the event things don't go too well between the two of you, what happens?
You quit.
Will you quit? Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you know, tulikuwa tumeuliza swali all round, and a lot of people are saying no. Mko wachache sana wenye mmesema you would, like 3 of you only. So Joyce, you know, you said no at first, but Eunice is talking about same company but different departments. Would that work for you? Because to say, you know, your bosses, if you're in the same company, different departments, your bosses are not the same. So is that something that you would compromise for? Because you're saying you would want somebody in a different field so that you can sit down and talk about different issues, about life, party perspective in Guinea, about the job that they're doing. But now if you're in a different department, is that something that you would do?
Yes, just like I said earlier, if we are in different sectors, that will really work.
Same company?
Yeah, same company, but now different departments.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if it's like a product, something that produces. So like in a different department and my spouse is in another department, that will really work. Because now my issues in the other department is not the same issues with his side. Yes, that would really work for me.
Okay. Titus, would that work for you? Wewe pia ulisema no. Different department, same company.
No, it won't.
Why?
I need my social space. Yeah. And
What do you
probably
want to
this
do at
partner
the
will
office?
also have friends from my department, and they'll keep telling her, you know, she's good. He's in good terms with Masi. He's in good terms with Lucy. So she will be jealous, of course, and it will hamper with my work ethics. I will be seen as if she's controlling me, and that is what I really hate as a man. So. And definitely, in as much as we work in the same company, different department, then it won't last for long. Even if we do, then one of us must quit. Actually, those that do, they don't stay at the same place, at the same workplace for long. Yeah. Well, assuming you're in that scenario, different department, same company, but definitely you are in a meeting, employees meeting, and everyone is there. And your boss knows that you people are hitting on each other. Well, assuming your boss is crashing on your girl. So the boss, what will the boss notions be? And I know some of you people are hitting on each other. I know some of you people are blah, 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 blah. Then I should ask you to maintain work and just focus on work. So how do you feel? Your colleagues know that you are dating this person, so definitely this message is meant for you. It will torture you.
So it's about caring about other people will say.
That
is what you care about, Titus.
It is not caring about, in as much as I don't. I have to, for my own mental wellness and for the relationships to work. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Okay. Korir, should that be an issue really? What Titus is talking about? Atakuwa a different department, but somebody will go tell the girlfriend or the wife that, oh, Titus is close na Lucy, Masi, Eunice, da-da-da-da-da. Should that really be an issue, or is that an insecurity from now the man's side or the woman's side?
For me, it's not an issue because now, like, you're in a different department. Now you'll have less time together, less communication. It's just a matter of being flexible. You're flexible in your place, she's flexible in her place. So like everything will go on well. You'll just be meeting like the morning hours when you're coming in and the evening hours. So no more time together. And you should consider the fact that what people will say. Your relationship will stand on what you do by yourself, you and your partner, not what people will say. Always when you go as per what people say, it will always affect your relationship negatively. Because you will have to stand by yourself. Decision should be made by yourself and not what other people say. Yeah, that's
absolutely. Dishon, you also said no. We're talking about different department, same company. Will that work for you?
Personally, it won't work. This is because when you bring your relationship into the office, italeta hiyo kitu ya colleagues kukuwa na tension kwa office. And when there's tension in the office, the productivity won't be there. So even if it's different departments, still it will affect the effectiveness that would be there if you guys wouldn't be dating. Also, when...
But if you're in a different department, you don't see each other all the time?
No. Even if you don't see each other, there are points like the printer. the printing point.
Kila department iko na printer yake.
Hapana, si yote.
You are just giving excuses for no. You
Si
can
yote,
find
si
love
yote.
anywhere. What do you think about? You can find love anywhere,
Okay.
isn't it, Mercy?
No.
Yes. Give her the microphone.
Yes, it's true. You can find love anywhere, but that doesn't compromise my point of
Yeah.
having to work with you.
You cannot compromise. Hata kama ni different departments.
That would fall under my 30%, but it's not something that I am so willing to do. Not unless circumstances force me to, but I just can't. I want exposure. Please go work in Safaricom. Let me go work in Telcom. Tutapatana uniambie, unajua Telcom tunataka kuwagonga. Tuko na that is okay. But under the same company, I feel like there will be some lagging behind of exposure, and that is what I want, so as to grow in different aspects of my life. So that will fall under my 30%.
So how about, you see, maybe you had parents who were both teachers. Si wamelea watoto vizuri. Me, I'm a product of both teachers. Sasa kama that one worked very, very well, and you know wamelea watoto ambao are women and men of value, why should that be a problem?
That is that generation. We are in a very
Different
very
generation.
Different generation. In fact, right now we are dealing with Gen Zs. Yeah, that wouldn't work for our generation. Kidogo sana watakubali hiyo maneno.
Okay. Wako hapa, and we'll be talking about that. Lakini Sparrel, Titus here talked about emotional, women were more emotional, you know, at workplaces, and that's why maybe he will not want to be with a woman at his workplace. Lakini wewe umesema you would date somebody you're working with. Your factor ya emotions, how does it play out for you?
Yeah, I would really factor out my emotions because, you know, before you get into a relationship, honestly, you have those questions, the what if questions you ask yourself. What if this doesn't work? Will we both still keep these responsibilities, considering the roles, the sizes, and our level of temperance? So emotions factors, I would really consider them. And the fact that I chose to date someone whom I know I'll be seeing him each and every time, it means I'm capable of taking in that.
What if now it comes to a point where you see him hugging other women? You know, wanasemanga sometimes men go to work for free hugs. I see that a lot on social media. What if now you see him getting hugged by, you know, other ladies flirting with him? Titus amesema we are people who deal with emotions. Sasa hapo, how will that make you feel?
You see, each problem has a solution. There is nothing new under the sun.
You're standing on business,
yes.
I see.
We have different types of hugs. Basically, if he's hugging ladies, I'll also be hugging men. It's just a form of greeting. It's just a form of greeting, nothing too personal. So I wouldn't take that unless I'm seeing something fishy that it really needs to be addressed. Then I have to point it out.
Peter, there's always this concern that people usually bring up, that once you start dating somebody from your workplace, usually kuna kwanga na replacement ako tu hapo around the corner. Do you agree with that or not? You start dating somebody at work. Once you people break up, or maybe if you want to cheat, you will still cheat with somebody, hapo hapo tu, somebody at your disposal at work. You will not go look for somebody else mahali. Where you found that person is where you will also get her replacement. Do you agree with that?
Okay, I disagree because you find maybe there are occurrences of disagreement, and disagreements are always there. And if you guys you are determined to date or to marry, there is that compatibility, there is that bond. So if you find yourself you're instantly broke the relationship has broken, you'll find ways of curbing the situation. You know, now I talked earlier about the maturity, and someone talked also about that maturity. You'll settle issues with a lot of maturity. Other than bringing issues to the workplace, you maybe solve them undersheet. Undersheet, by saying undersheet, I'm talking about back at home, bedroom issues.
Yes.
Don't take it to the workplace. Actually, if for example it happened, the situation of my friend who is having a lot of insecurities with her girlfriend, baby, or a friend, to curb those issues and that situation, I think you should support our idea of working together, because it will curb those insecurities. Because take, for example, you are working, let's say in Safaricom in Nairobi, your wife is a teacher in Garissa, and he is cheating you, and you don't know. How will you curb that situation? So you are saying that it is better when you are not seeing. I think that is your point. But for me, I think when I'm there, those security issues will not appear. Breakup issues will not appear, because
you'll just be there.
I will just be
soothing
there.
them.
Yes.
With life at work.
You know, let me tell you something about, there's I say that always goes around about if you decide to date or to be in a relationship, be in that relationship. If you are not determined to be in that relationship, there will always be quarrels, be it you are in that job or away. So it is all about mutual understanding. It's all about how you take each other, how you treat each other, the trust. In fact, when you are working together, you build that trust.
Okay.
So I don't think whether you will have those pressures of breakup while in that job. I don't see.
John, do you agree that working together curbs now the issues of insecurity and of course cheating as well? Akiwa hapo you cannot cheat because now unamuona daily. Do you agree?
No, not really. That akiwa hapo you cannot cheat. Ukitaka kucheat uta-cheat. Unajua? But the problem is you're dating a person, not a company. Huyo mtu mwenye ako hapo hajakorogewa hapo. You can come, we met here, something beautiful started. And then soon and very soon you get wende CNN ama BBC. What happens? You know. So at the end of the day, it shouldn't be about the company. Plus, even with you being around and all the issue of co-workers and people being extra friendly, what I know is if people know bibi yako site, they behave. Unless anataka kukuharibia hii kitu, they'll behave. Yes, they will behave. So you'll find that insecurity, or rather lack of security that you have won't be there. That is one. Two, those issues are personal, and insecurities stem from inadequacies. If you see you have bugged someone who is too good to be true, you will start being insecure because you feel inadequate, you yourself, that uyu akienda, number one, I may either not be able to bug someone else, or if I may be able to bug someone else, I may not be able to bug someone else. Good. Insecurities stem from you, not from the surrounding environment. You see, therefore, you cannot use that as a basis to prevent beautiful things from happening. If you're there and good vibes and the heart wants what it wants,
inaweza.
Yes, inaweza.
Okay.
It has been done, You said yourself you are a product of that. And even it has happened, even currently, even there are people in media who They're there, and we see them there every day. You know, so it can work.
But Mercy is saying that is a generational issue. You know, when I talked about the people who are products of, kuna watu wazazi ni nurse, mwingine ni daktari, wengine ni walimu, like me. Now she's saying this is a generational issue. Now when it comes to you Gen Zs, now you're trying to break that cycle. You're saying you cannot date from the same profession as you. Is it a generational issue?
No.
And now Gen Zs mnasema hapana, hiyo mambo hatutaki.
You see, the only problem that is coming that I can see with this generation is watu wanapenda line. You know, I think it was last week, but when we were here talking about you're dating with the replacement in mind. You know, so you find that people see being in a relationship as someone being there to monitor whatever, everything you're doing. Okay, so you'll find that someone does not want that because they want that sense of freedom to go laugh with Tom, Dick, and Harry or Mercy, Stella, and whoever. You know, so you'll find that if you're in that relationship, it doesn't matter. After all, huo mtu hajakorogewa hapo. 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, a year, 6 months from now, that person may not be there. Tenda atapata job place ingine. Will it be different just because he has changed companies? After all, I've said you're not dating the company. You're dating the person.
Okay.
Yes.
Jace, would you say that umekataa sababu this is a generational issue and now in your generation you're trying to break that cycle and you're just trying to, you know, expand your reach to get more learned on different, you know, spheres of work environment? Now that you said no, wanasema Gen Zs amtaki hiyo story ya ku-date at the workplace.
Yes, it's generational because now Gen Z is now like we are open-minded. We don't want to like those millennials. They were like now like you, 2 teachers. They say like that was walikuwa na ile mentality ya kitambo. But saizi Gen Zs were open-minded. I want to be diverse. I want to get to know other people. Like I don't want to be always there with my spouse 24/7. I'll be bored seeing you every day. At home I'm with you, during work I'm with you. There is that boredom that comes with it if it's dating. But if it's marriage, it comes with this. Okay, marriage is about maturity because now that you are into something deep, not about dating that might end anytime, but marriage, it's a vow that you both took and till death do you part. You see, so I won't support that being in the same area, the same workplace together. But then there is this that comes with favorism. My spouse is the manager, and I've been promoted. Now my other colleagues will be like, oh, because he's the wife, any bibi yake ndo maana amempromote and stuff, and it will create some disagreement in the office with even other colleagues. Yeah.
All right. Still on that issue of generations, Korir, niliona umekataa when Mercy was talking about it being an issue of Gen Zs na could try and break that cycle. So do you agree that it's you Gen Zs ambao you're saying no, we don't want to work we don't want to date at the workplace?
You know, I don't agree because now everything as Gen Zs, we're only saying, oh, Gen Zs, oh, Gen Zs. Like, we have to talk these things out of facts. It's not all about the view of the Gen Zs. We have to see it in different perspectives. We have relationship whereby people, like, the millennials marry the Gen Zs. So now, like, you cannot bring the Gen Zs fact. We have to consider love can thrive anywhere. So, like I said earlier, love does not choose the workplace ID. Love can grow anywhere. So, like, we just have to agree that love can be there in the office and somewhere else. But now the challenge that comes in the office love or the being colleagues, like how will you handle things like breakups? Yeah, that's the biggest problem. So now
hold your microphone nicely. Hold your microphone well.
You can end up in a place whereby you break up with your colleague. Now it happens like handling it becomes a terrible thing. Now it affects the work, the production, and everything goes down. But as far as you are also together, communication can make a strong bond. So me, I will go by navigating life and love can work together in being in a good environment and understanding professionalism. You just have to put everything into stand. Like you just have to put everything with rules and instructions. Like a place has a work ethos, so you have to follow as it's stated. No, you just don't have to go there because you love your partner. Now we are in office because of love. Like you are there because of production. As we're doing work, we are here to make money, we are here to make money and also to do good work for the company. Now everybody just to remain in its place, do your work, we'll do love leather.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Titus, how about if the work environment or the company supported work relationships and came up with policies that would ensure that even as you work, you can as well date your colleague and still thrive in your area of work? Will that work for you?
Come again, please.
Say the work environment, kazi hapo job. HR amesema you people can date as long as you're working, you're delivering on your duties vizuri vile inafaa, and the policies there that support you guys if you're told you want to date or be in a relationship. Is that something that you would do?
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Do you think that relationship would thrive if the policies are there?
I still stand by my stance.
You're standing on business.
I'll still stand by it because, well, a wise person once told me that at least know something about everything. So, well, how am I going to know something about finance? Well, we both dating lawyers. How am I going to know something about medicine?
How about hiring a finance
No, I don't want to hire. I want him in my house.
Okay.
So let me get the finance knowledge, let me get the medicine knowledge from a different person. And, well, you know your work is sacrosanct. It is a sacrosanct, something such. You should respect it. Dating your colleague is symptomatology. And, well, I'll tell you one thing. One, don't pick your meat. Don't pick your meat where you find your bread. And two, don't make your honey where you make your money.
Okay. Mercy. Would working together curb insecurities and cheating?
Working together will not curb that. I mean, a cheating man is always a cheating man. And a man who's truly devoted to settling with me will truly do that. That is a him thing, not a me thing. I cannot change a cheating man. Kama yeye ni wa kuenda atakuwa tu anatoka. You know? And I feel like when we work in different companies, when we work in different organizations, trust is built on that. Trust is not built on when we are together. Now when we're working together, definitely you will be having a mentality of my partner is here, so I can't do 1, 2, 3. But then when my partner is working in Garissa, that trust will be there. Akikuko Garissa is when you're going to see truly what can he do when you're away, you know? I should be so sure that when my partner is put in a room full of 100 beautiful ladies, that guy will do absolutely nothing.
All right.
That is when trust is built, honestly. Mtu tu anataka kutoka aende atatoka, imagine. Hata ufanyaje, hata uende kwa mganga, hata uende kwa pasta,
Wakwenda
ataenda.
All right, let's take a very short break. But of course, let's invite viewers to be part of this conversation on our socials, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube. There is a number on your screen. When we come back, you can call in and take part in this conversation. Unaweza tuma pia WhatsApp how you feel na venye una react to whatever the panel is saying, and if you would date, tuambie sticker unatumia leo ni gani. Yes, after this break, we'll be coming back shortly.
world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you
We are back. It's Relationship Wednesday. The topic of discussion this morning is, would you date or marry a colleague? And that is the question you're asking on social media as well, on TV47 Kenya on Facebook and YouTube, on X at TV47 News KE. My handle is at Ann_Dide. You can tag me as well. There is a number on your screen. Call in, and a WhatsApp number as well to tumia reaction, your view hapo, just a video recording yourself, and we'll be sure to play it here in studio. Tujue unasemaje. But in studio here, of course, we do have a very big panel, and let me welcome Moige. Is it Moige? The question you're asking, Moige, is would you date or marry a colleague? Just to bring you in on this conversation so you don't feel left out. How would you respond to that question?
No, I can't date a colleague.
Why? Na umekataa na passion?
Siwezi date colleague.
Why?
Tuseme imagine tukibreak up, kutakuwaje hata hapo hivyo job. Nitakuwa namuona na filaje, namuona ndio ule na niko smart.
Yeah.
Dress yangu iko fiti. Nitashinda tu nimejishukushuku nini, siwezi kuwa comfortable.
All right.
Siwezi.
Sawa sawa. John, you brought up that aspect of breakup, the one Moige is talking about. But now what happens when you break up at the workplace? Unaendelea tu, ama how do you now manage that kind of situation?
Work-life balance. Yes. What happens at work stays at work. What happens outside of work stays there.
Is it easier said than done?
Yeah, yes, it's easier said than done. Because again, you see, when you're working, when you're dating at work, it's not only the two of you. Najua. Keva anajua, Masi anajua. Okay? So you find that also perceptions change. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible, you know. So it is possible to continue with the life after, you know. And also you find that, again, if you've broken up and you're working, it's easier to move on. You know, it's easier to move on because it's easier to get closure since you're in the same environment. Okay? Watu ambao hamko in the same environment, itakuwa ngumu because there is always that thought. And this is something I've seen actually.
Chungu ya breakup.
Hey, you don't know who you're talking to. You see, let me tell you one thing. If we are working together and we've broken up, okay? I've seen you moving on. Itanipiga kikofi kwa kichwa, huyu mtu hayuko hapa. Okay? There's no maybe, like it is clear as day this person is not here. Okay? So, in as much as it will be painful, it will give you some sense of clarity that mtu hakuna maybe, hakuna siku atanipigia saa 5 kuniambia by the way love me please. You know? Hakuna. So you'll find that at the end of the day, it will hit you. Yes, na itakugonga vibaya sana, but it will give you the clarity needed to move on.
Okay.
Yes.
Sparrel, wewe ume-champion for dating at work. What are some of the green flags that maybe sisi wenye tunasema no, we should look out for us to, you see, to convince, utuambie, you know, why dating at work will be a good idea and what we should look out for and what we should not?
I think I should start with what you should look out for. Strengthening your bond. Overcoming the challenges that comes with life. Getting to know your spouse better. You see, in maybe to give a short story, I have a friend whom I know from a certain company who fell in love with a certain lady in the same department, and one thing led to the other, and she's the wife as we speak, and they're still working under the same company with a child. When they brought up their relationship open, the HR had to separate them and now put them in different departments, in that to avoid collusion or any type of disagreement that would have risen. But you see, that still encouraged them to keep going. I look at that and I give it a thumbs up that this thing can work if you want it to work. Yeah.
So it's even better if the company is supporting them.
Yes, very better. But the disadvantage part of it is that getting to see your person each time.
Yeah.
I think at times it's boring. Maybe you just need a break or something from seeing them kila saa. And I think that's the only disadvantage that comes with work relationship.
How do you now navigate a breakup? Because that is a concern that Moige has. Once you break, easy date office because she can't handle that breakup very well. You're supporting dating at the workplace. What if you break up?
We all have our level of maturity and how we approach issues. I don't think by the time you have agreed to date at a workplace, you'll become so petty in that your emotions issue, you bring it at workplace. No, you will find somewhere to go deal with your issues. And when we meet at work, we're just workmates. We should work as it should be. You know, go ahead, go home.
Go high or go home.
Yeah.
Perfect. Moige, but what happens to, what if it works out? If you have the fear of breakup, you know, we were talking about you can find love anywhere. Love itakupata hata pale bathroom, ile, what is it called? Whatever, the bathroom, ile ya restaurant, ukiwa tu hapo umeenda kunawa. It can find you anywhere. So what if it works out? Hold your microphone well. Is this something that you've tried, ukaona haiwezi? Or you have stories, you've seen people who tried it and ikabounce vibaya sana and now you're scared of, you know, even thinking about the idea of dating at work?
Sijai try but nimeisikia story na haikuenda poa. Alafu unajua wanadamu ni wanadamu tu. Na obvious tukidate ama tukiwa tumeona tunafanya place moja, watu watajua obvious, huyu atajua. Na sasa mkiachana bado acha turudi kwa story ya kuachana. Mkiachana pia bado watajua. Watashinda wameongea nini, Steph wameachana nani wameachana nani. Bado tu haiwezi. So siwezi. Hiyo story ya kubreak up kabisa.
Umekataa?
Siwezi.
Peter, now what happens hiyo time ya break up? Wewe pia uko sawa na dating at work. Glow up, ameshaachana, amerudi, ameanza kuvaa vizuri, hata hizo nguo huku waiona. Now she's strutting at work, she's now wearing heels, she's wearing makeup, she's looking extra nice. And then you've broken up. What happens?
Okay, for me, I will try again another shot. I will come back to her with another fashion and try whether she can come back. You know, the beauty of this thing is we are working together. So there is still that bond. So when we see each other passing, we are going to at least we have the attraction. There was once a great love somewhere. So you try to redeem it if it is redeemable, and bring it back to work. And also, I want to add something, maybe if you can allow me.
Yes.
Even in the Bible, in the beginning, when God constituted the earth, I don't know if it is the earth or universe, he put Adam in the Garden of Eden, then he went ahead and bring a woman for companionship and work. And there is nowhere in the Bible that is mentioned whether Eve was in the other garden, but they were at the same garden.
Working together.
Working together. Also, in the church, I have never seen a pastor in the church having another church for his wife. They both preach in the same church. In fact, they call them Mama Pastor. Why do they call them? Because when the pastor is away, Mama Pastor will take that role. So they are working together. I've even had another time, our president, His Excellency William Ruto, wanting an office of her wife. Why? Because maybe I don't know whether it was to be in the State House or somewhere else, but I believe it was to be in the same place. So there is that affection, there is that bond, there is that trust, there is that. I saw even the impeached governor.
Yes,
for Meru, wanted to have an office for his husband. These things are practical. Even as we can put practically. Yes, so there's no way we can deny that having a colleague working together is bad. I saw many teachers teaching together. They quarrel, but after some time, they come back.
Yes.
They love each other and they continue. Life continues. Yes, so this is, and wise men said that behind every successful man, there is a woman behind. What if that woman is in the other country? So will you work to achieve that success? So I think we should focus, and we should, as a country, we should try.
We should be open to.
We should open to each other, and we should work together to avoid those insecurities, to avoid those dramas that are happening in our country. People finding the others cheating, they kill themselves, they kill the colleagues. So to avoid that, I think we should be at the same workplace so that we can see each other.
I thought you were going to say so that we can cheat together.
Yes.
Mercy, are you convinced? Unajua Peter ametupatia pale valid reasons as to why. He's even quoted the Bible. So are you convinced that, working together is not a bad idea after all?
I am not convinced. I am just not convinced. Because now, hata akisema
venye inaweza work out for you.
No, hata akisema behind every successful man is a woman. Nani amesema is a woman in that company? It's not. It's just not. And I think there's very many examples.
You're talking about generations, but in this generation, we do have a lot of women working with men. The ratio of men to women of women to men is actually high nowadays. So you were talking about sometimes there are no women in that company. You're talking about generational issues.
But now, truth be told, hiyo ni kitu yenye sai in our generation, is it something we can apply? It's fine, we can be like Adam and Eve. It's fine, we can be like our parents and our grandparents. But now the question is that really applicable in the current situation? Is it even applicable with the Gen Alphas that we have? Times are changing. I mean, that's why we see growth That's why we see progress. Ukiangalia hata from the Bible, Adam and Eve, there was so much progress. When you look at our parents, there is so much progress. You see them, they used to acquire things together. They would work together and say, unajua nimeona kashamba mahali, we can go and get it. That is how they used to work. And we get to see currently some of the millennials, it's fine, they can't be working together, but either of the partners, one has investments outside. So it's not just, we are not just seated in the studio working there, presenting news. Kuna tu mmoja atatoka ende betika. Kuna mwingine ameinvest akon, in fact ni kadila mbigi sana. Kuna mwingine atatoka akona mekaniki kwa mahali. You see? So it's the aspect of progress. We don't have to sit in the same place and tie our minds in that company. Na kuna hata example imepeanwa. A husband and a wife, they met in primary, high school, worked together. That is a good example. But now you see the aspect of their boss giving them different departments. Clearly shows that roughness will be there. And honestly, prevention is better than cure. We don't have to get there so that we deal with it. Honestly, it is just very hard. Hata tukisema level of maturity that comes with handling breakups. It's tough. It is tough. Hata hawa watu tunataka kuona in the social media, co-parenting and all that. Trust you me, if it was not for this baby, we couldn't be talking. So where is the maturity there?
Where is the maturity there? Dennis, Mercy anauliza, where is the maturity there after breakup?
People are different. We'll start there. Number 2, you'll find that the reasons you get into something. Again, the reasons you get into something. If you had people who come to see you because of the things you have, you are a couple mahali, or you have kids somewhere and whatever. You'll do whatever it takes to keep that image going. Okay, but if you don't consider the images, if you don't consider the outside world, to put it that way, you'll find that there is nothing really that is stopping you. That is one. Number 2, you've asked where is the maturity there. Yeah.
Mercy has asked, where is the maturity there?
Okay. So you're absolving yourself. Okay. If people are dealing with things, and again, you've said generational. I think this is the first generation where we mature so fast, Therefore, we don't really have the bandwidth to deal with things the way people used to deal with them, in the past. This is a generation where people don't want to deal with nonsense, in quotes. People are not so patient, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you'll find that also some aspects come with development. Whether it is character development or human development, there's things that will just come up with development. There are things that will come up with knowing that I am an adult, you are an adult, I found you as an adult, and you found me as an adult. Okay. We have lives outside of whatever we used to have. And just because our world has stopped doesn't mean that our respective worlds...
Hold on to that point, John. You'll be coming back with it. Felistes is calling us from Kitale. Good morning, Felistes. Felistes?
Yes.
Good morning. Good to hear from
morning
you.
Talk to you. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, nataka kusema.
Yes.
On the motion whether you can marry a colleague or not, it is a matter of discipline. Unaweza oa a colleague and she cheats or she cheats. And wewe ule ambaye hamuko pamoja na achieve. So it's a matter of discipline. Yeah, whether ni mtu tu ajichunge na ajitume. And then our Gen Zs, I'm not a Gen Z, I'm a mother of Gen Zs, 4 Gen Zs. I want to tell them it is good that they be exposed. They are being exposed. They are teaching us parents' ways. But still, there are so many things we need to see together as parents and our agencies and do together. Nimesupport sana huyo mwenye amesema ya kwamba discipline. You can teach whether in the company or ako Garissa na uko Nairobi na
Can we get more?
na muko kwa Safaricom hapo ama TV47 hapo wawili na cheat tena na colleague mwingine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Felicitas, of course, for your advice. Amesema inaweza. Umesikia kutoka kwa mama. Dishon, mama amesema inaweza. What do you think?
Kijana amesema haiwezi.
Kwa nini haiwezi? Na amesema inaweza. Amesema all that matters is discipline.
Okay.
Kama unasema haiwezi, inamaanisha you are
Exactly.
in discipline.
Exactly. If there's discipline, that means there's trust. So kama mnatrustiana, mbona mwalk pamoja? Na
What if there's an opportunity there at work? Do you rather stay at home because you cannot work with your spouse?
okay, there are disadvantages of working together. Kama hiyo ya ku break up hiyo. Okay, mta break up. Imagine unakuja kuketi na msee na msha break up. No. It's like saying we'll be calm in a storm, yet you are carrying a small umbrella. That won't work. It will spill over to your colleagues. So it's better off if you guys work in different companies. Worst case scenario, different departments. Yeah. So love is trust. If you trust your partner, you'll be comfortable if he or she works in another company. It's not a must that they work close to you.
Okay. I just want to also encourage our viewer to call in, tusikie venye unasema, this way Felicitas unasikia ki-advise the Gen Z in studio. So you can as well just record a 30-second video of yourself giving us feedback. And then we'll be very, very happy to play it here in studio, tujue unatuambia vipi. But let's hear from Fred. Fred is calling us from Kericho. Good morning, Fred.
Niko salama sana.
Talk to
Ni kitu naweza sema. Umejua siku hizi umejua hii Gen Z. Hello?
Yes, Fred.
Umejua kufanya kazi pamoja na mwenye mko naye pamoja. It's a bit tricky because itakuwa a bit tricky because umejua ukimwona hapo.
Fred, can you hear me? Punguza volume ya TV or just get away kidogo. All right, we've lost Fred kidogo. But Dishan, you were talking about the issue of breaking up at work, and ukasema worst case scenario if you're working in different departments. I think that is even better. Imagine breaking up yet you're in the same department. So why do you think it's worse when you're now in different departments?
If in different departments, you know, in a company, departments form up so that they can come up with projects.
Hold your microphone well.
Departments come up together. They form groups to develop strategies and projects. So if your ex is in another department, okay, wacha nitumie example yako.
Okay.
Kama ex wako ni cameraman. Naangalia.
Yes.
Ako department ingine, wewe uko ingine.
Yes.
Sa una present news. Anaweza kuwa hata kuzoom. Naangalia.
Afanye nini?
Okay, ana zoom into details. Sema kama umefanya makeup vibaya. Ana focus na hapo. Hiyo
sasa sini anajaribia kazi.
Anajaribia lakini unaangalia. That's what I was saying. That's my point. Like if you work with your ex, you guys mtakuwa hizo quarrels. Anajaribia kazi. And as far as much as anajaribia kazi, pia anaharibia kampuni kazi. Yeah. So it brings me back to the issue of productivity.
Mimi hujani convince. You haven't convinced me. Korir, what do you think on what he's talking about?
In terms of breakup, now in a situation whereby you break up, we have to accept first that this topic, like whether we marry or date a colleague, it's a fact that we have scenarios which are successful. We have scenarios which are successful. So we cannot neglect and just generalize it that it can't work or it can work. These things, both of them can do. So if a breakup do happens, like I believe, and more so I know that women are dramatic. They can bring more drama to their work. So I just believe you have to know the level of drama your lady can bring. And in terms of being together in a workplace, as I said first, we have to bring the matter of professionalism. It's work, it's work. It's relationship or dating, it's dating. Like, let's not mix businesses. Stick to one lane. We're at work, let's stick to work. When it comes to times of making love, let's make love.
All right. Tishan, just hold on to whatever you want to say, but let's pick this call. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, talk to us.
Let me talk with Kiswahili.
Speak up.
Mimi naitwa Mzee Olembo. Hao vijana wote wengine ni kama wajukuu wangu. Kulingana na maisha saizi, mambo na Gen Z.
Yes.
Unless iwe ile wide company ambaye sasa utapeleka mmoja kwa another section na ingine another branch, it will work. Lakini kama tuseme kampuni ni ndogo, wote wako pamoja na the same supervisor, the same manager, whatever, it will not work sababu ya pale hao vijana wako na hasira. Kitu ya kwanza wako na hasira na wote wamesoma. Na kupata yule ambaye atapena respect kwa mwingine 100% itakuwa ngumu. And we need them to have ile my age. I'm almost 60 years. So itabidi mmoja anakuwa kwa branch nyingine, mwingine kwa branch nyingine, na wenyewe wajiheshimu na wakoe at the same town so that jioni ikifika wanakutana nyumbani. That is the only advice I can give.
All right. Thank you so much for your call. We do appreciate it.
Yes.
Titus, Felicitas alisema inaweza. Ni mama. Amesema she's raising 4 Gen Zs. Inaweza. That caller, mwenye tume hang up sahi, amesema as long as respect is there, it's possible. Are you convinced?
Bado yezi.
Kwa nini unakataa hivyo?
Unajua, in as much as tunasema respect equal or you trying to, you can't hide chemistry. Chemistry huwezi feature. Now you can't handle, huwezi handle chemistry by the way. And hata mki break up, ukionja utamu ya break up itakuwa noma kwanza mkiwa pamoja. Unaona? So like, in as much as you stand by your principles and standards and your work respect kwa job, it is still hard. Inaumanga kwa
Inauma sana.
Inauma.
Okay. Moige, Titus amesema inaweza, okay? Not Titus, the call we just dropped. And then we have Felicitas, the mom. She said, as a mom, the advice that she's giving you as Gen Zs is that it's possible. But as long as there's respect to it. Are you convinced that dating at work?
Bado siko convinced.
Why are you so scared?
Story ya break up. Alafu pia hapo hivyo job ukiweza muona sasa mme break up, umuone anatembea na dem ameiva nini na wewe okay, yes, insecurity. Na wewe yes nimeiva but dem ameiva sana, wanatembea nini, nitafeel
assume breakup was not an issue, you know? Sasa toa breakup out of the equation. Would you date a colleague?
No. Bado siwezi date.
Why? Now not about the breakup. Assume your breakup is not an issue of concern. I understand your main issue is breakup because you cannot handle the breakup. But I'm going to leave you to think about that. You're coming back to answer it after this call. Good morning from Kapsabet, yes? Isaac, good morning. Isaac? All right. Yes, Moige.
Mixing work na personal life hainibambi. Na prefer kama ni job ikuwe job na kama ni kazi ikuwe kazi.
All right. Sawa sawa. Sparrel, Mercy aliuliza swali fulani akasema, how is that applicable in this generation? That is exactly what she said. How is that applicable in this generation, like dating, you know, in the same workplace and still expecting it to thrive? You're a champion for it's okay, love can find you anywhere. How would you react to that?
The level of temperance that we hold will truly determine that. Honestly, we are living in a generation whereby we don't care. I mean, it's all about me and me. But we are escaping the fact that we need each other for that growth to happen. Give an example that my spouse doesn't have work, but I'm working, and at my workplace we have an opportunity. Does it mean he's gonna stay at home simply because it's not possible him working with me? It's not. I mean, I have to connect him and come try here. We can do this.
Okay.
They say in Swahili, kidole kimoja hakivunji chawa. Yeah, we need one another to grow to higher standards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa. Let's get this call from Florence. Good morning, Florence.
Good morning to you.
Yes, talk to us.
Sasa nataka kuchangia hii mjadala inaendelea.
Yes, we are happy to hear from you. Tuambie.
Good morning.
Good morning, Florence. Tunakupata vizuri sana. Talk to us.
Yes, niko na
Florence?
Something I want to add.
Yes.
Following the discussion of today or this morning, would you date or marry a colleague? Yes. Kulingana na venye nimesikia, there is an instance of someone saying maybe she was the parents were teachers.
Yes.
You know, teachers wana teach watoto. Na watoto ni wadogo. So, you know, watoto ni wadogo na watoto wawezi wawezi wakafanya couples wawe na insecurity. So in the case of, I've seen an instance whereby I've experienced working somewhere where I was with another colleague, and
Florence?
I was in a place where everyone could just pass through me before they enter into the company.
All right.
And so when I was once dating one, then akiona nimepewa namba, anani text. He texts me immediately. Sasa kuangalia simu yangu, naona amesema.
Yes. All right.
Ananiambia he's not ready to lose his life. Anaona napeana namba. Na sometimes it's just maybe a client. Sasa anasema peana tu namba. We just give your number. I'm not ready to lose my life. So,
right.
but these are clients. They just want to consult me maybe later on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Florence, for that. Now, you brought up the issue of, you know, insecurity at work as well, because we're talking about that. And John, unasikia anasema, akipeana namba kidogo, now the man follows up to just inquire, kwa nini unapatiwa namba kazini? Are you more insecure than the women, or now insecurity inakuja inaangalianaje in that particular situation?
You see, and I'll go back to what I said. Insecurity is personal. It stems from your own inadequacies. You know, why should I perceive someone else as a threat if I know I am secure and I know kabisa, like we are in this together and this is it is real, you know. But if I am not sure whether we are in this together, yeah, I'm just trying to keep you here. You know, for one reason or another, the relationship has become rather bland, you know. And many other reasons, you'll find that I will always be perceiving everything as a threat. You know, unajua, fulani anaweza nigongea. You see? So everything, hata mtu akikusmailia, nikiona mmekaa 5-minute conversation na mtu, you know, or too long, umeanza kumwonyesha premolars na mimi smile haipitangi canines, you know, you will start to perceive this person as a threat because it is coming from you. You know, insecurity is always personal. It stems from your own inadequacies. And also, you'll find that a lot of these scenarios are stemming from vicarious trauma. Vicarious trauma meaning, kulikuwa na Kevo mahali na Masi. Kevo na Masi didn't go well. You know, you're trying to extrapolate Kevo and Masi's story to your story, and that is not what happens.
That is what Moige is doing.
You know, and you'll find that one thing I know, I have experienced it. People will say, I don't date colleagues. I don't date classmates. It is you. Ni wewe. They'll come a colleague who will tick all their boxes. They will come a classmate. They will come a workmate who will tick all their boxes. And trust me, utawaona tu. Yes, it has happened.
Okay. Joyce, wewe ulisema you can't. Ukasema maybe you can, if at all somebody is in Telkom and you're in Safaricom, that could work for you. But what happens when that person who is in Telkom gets a job now in Safaricom? Do you now leave the job? Do you break up? What do you do now? Atoke kazi yake, akuje join into your company. Is that ground for breakup?
I'll just say if circumstances take, because I can't just leave my work because of you that you've been promoted to come to Safaricom. Sa hapo itabidi tu, we just cope, but sasa we'll have to sit down, going back to the drawing book, the structure, and conquer. Yes.
Will that work out for you, Mercy? Useme ametoka kampuni nyingine, amekuja kwa ile yenye wewe unafanya kazi. But wewe unasema you want somebody who works in a totally different field, ndio upate other ideas and how they're doing their things. How will that work out for you?
That is absolutely so okay. I am not glued to totally not working with my partner in the same company. Only that my preference is working in a different place. And my reason for wanting someone who's working in a different place is the aspect of exposure. When you get transferred from Telkom to Safaricom, then you're going to bring in your ideas from Telkom to Safaricom, which is very okay. And that is where the aspect of maturity comes in. We've seen couples who work together, and it's so okay. The likes of Kina Mkurugenzi, they are doing absolutely so good. The likes of Kina Njugush, they are doing so well. So we can't glue our minds in one point of absolutely not wanting to work with them, because
so you can. Naona unalegeza kamba.
No, because you see, I said 70% I wouldn't want. 30 is okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, vitu zikituforce tukwe tu pamoja, it is okay, because at the end of the day, you're my partner and we'll go home to the same relationship that we are having.
Yeah.
That is where the aspect of our parents saying we need to have discipline, we need to have trust, and all that comes in. Yeah, but my preference 70, not together. 30, it's okay.
Okay. Moige, what if your type, the love of your life, you know, that is the love of your life, but it just happens that you are in the same workplace. Would you let it slide just because you're working together and you don't want to be with this person and just stay single? Ukose kuolewa because no, huyu ako job moja na mimi.
Hapo itabidi tu tumefanya kazi pamoja. Siwezi kosa. Hapo itakuwa imebidi tufanye kazi pamoja. Yeah, siwezi taka, but hapo itakuwa imebidi tufanye kazi pamoja. Ni juu, ni lazima ama ni juu. But
if dating is the main worry for you in case of a breakup, what if you are married and you're working together? Because sasa hapa, I don't think the issue of a breakup will come to play. Will that be an issue for you?
yes.
It will be an issue?
Yes.
I'll let you think about that as we get this call. Jacob, good morning. Jacob?
How are you? Morning.
Yes, talk to us.
Haya, mi napiga kutoka Kware 002.
Yes.
Nimefutiwa na mjadala unaoendelea. Nao vijana wote nikiona ni vijana wangu. Mimi naitwa Jacob Omeke. Maoni wanaotoa yanakinzana, yako sawa. Ukiangalia upande shilingi moja ukipindua na upande mwingine kulingana na vijana wa kisasa yanaingiana, kwa sababu
yes,
ukiwa na mpenzi wako mnafanya kazi pamoja, aswa watoto wetu wa kike wanawifu. Ikiwa mimi mmeo niko pale mbele yake, labda mwingine amekuja amenihagi kawaida emergency, yule mwenzangu hataumwa kwa njia moja ama nyingine. Na hiyo itaendelea mpaka mwisho, itaharibu mahusiano. Na kuna kijana mmoja amesema hapo kwamba security inaanza na wewe mwenyewe.
Yes.
We have those people who have personal securities, yani wako na ile ujasiri wa kukaa pamoja, hata akiona mumeo anabuziwa, hana imani kwamba huyu ni mke wangu at the end of the day. Kwa hivyo wanaweza kaa pamoja, na tumeona hata kama waandishi wa habari wanafanya mahali pamoja, hata wana represent habari pamoja. Yanawezekana.
Kweli.
Kwa hivyo kwa asilimia 50 inawezekana, na kwa asilimia 50 haiwezekani.
Okay.
Hivyo naunga mkono
50-50. Asante sana. Asante kwa kutupigia simu. We were talking to you, Muige, and tunasema by chance you guys are married. Wewe umeogopa sana break up, wachwa. Imagine it will happen one day, you better just get used to it so that you can ukue na tough skin. But what happens when you're married? Would you compromise?
Itakuwa ngumu bado. But tutafanya tu kazi pamoja, but itakuwa ngumu. Kwa sababu imagine mchana tunashinda pamoja like the whole day, tena bado jioni ama usiku tuko pamoja, tutakuwa tu pamoja hadi itabo. Itabo.
Titus.
Itabo.
Uko married sasa. And also let's talk about this transfer. Atoke kazi nyingine akuje, and you're talking about a financial advisor, maybe if you're working in another firm, but akuje into that firm that you're working for as a financial advisor in that firm. You're married. Bado utakata. Useme no, one of us lazima atoke.
In that ikiingilia hapo sasa ni ile place tunasema angalia slow body ubidi. But as much as amekuja na nimekubali, I'm still seated on a musical chair. Yes, I'm enjoying the tune, but I'll not enjoy the dance forever. So bado niko.
Sasa the love you have for her, will it reduce? Utapunguza mapenzi?
Mapenzi bado yako, lakini sasa kuna ile insecurity. Jua unajua like well. Insecurity inakujanga if you really love this person. Kama simpendi basi mbona niko insecure? Unaona? So but if I really love this girl, then nitakuwa insecure nikiona bado wana hang up na wale wasi wengine. And that hiyo inakuja kuni affect mimi ndani kushinda venye itamu affect na hata jua. So I'm seated on a musical chair and I enjoy the tune, but I don't know till when. Yeah.
Then John Dennis, you are a psychologist. This issue of insecurity is really coming up. Na nimeona ni kama ni men sana. What is happening? You're married but you're still insecure. If you love a person, that's why you're insecure about them talking to another person. How does that work?
You know, all relationships are formed by attachment. There's a sense of attachment in any relationship we have. And this stems from the primal relationships we have, you know, the relationships we had with our caregivers. And how we attach to those people expressed in the initial sense how those people loved us and how those people expressed their love to us, you know. So if you have someone who is anxious and mtu anakuanga with every action anataka kuniacha.
How ndio words of affirmation.
Exactly. So anataka kuniacha. So akikuona umesmile nitagongewa my friend. You see, if you have someone who is avoidant, that person wants their own space. You know, it's not that they don't love you, but again, as Muige has said, haoni need ya mmeonana mchana, jioni, asubuhi, you know, he doesn't want to see you every day. Anataka space yake. You see, so it depends with your own attachment and your own attachment style. You know, if someone is secure, as the man from Kwale has said, he knows at the end of the day, ni bibi. Like that is, I'm secure in that. At the end of the day, this person, we have something, okay? And it in as much as it is special in its own way, there are also other aspects of life that we have to go and get. So at the end of the day, it boils down to your attachment style and how you express love and how you interpret love and being loved.
Okay. Let's get some comments. Newton anasema no reasons, workplace tension. No, anasema no, he will not date at work. Reason yake ni workplace tension, distraction at work and post breakup fallout. Chris anasema very bad idea, but true love does exist. I've seen some thrive, not all do though. If you must date them, make sure it goes to the long haul. Kamani anasema sai naona moto, I'm quitting this job. Stress itanimaliza. Get that? Peter will be coming to you. Jerry anasema no, tragic. Don't even think about it. I once dated a colleague and it went really bad after the breakup, which is certain. Huyu amekuja akaambia Mwege, you will break up for sure. Okinyo anasema because the colleague is dateable, period. Sasa yeye, she would date. Huyu amesema no, I don't work with women. Anaitwa Remb. Clemo anasema they say even when you date, go for someone. If worse was to come to worse, they are livable. A colleague will make you want to quit your source of income. Huyu anasema hello, I'm Deno from Kapsabet. First of all, I wouldn't want to date someone whom I'm working with. Reason, too much presence kills the impotence. There must be some distance. At least you'll feel like nimekumiss my love. Afandi anasema yes or no answer is correct, but it depends with your personal self-control and discipline. Dating colleague is always wrong. My colleague Shambi Ndiritu is saying no. Huyu anasema why do you want to date your colleague? Dating a colleague has its challenges, especially if you're in the same workstation. If it's a big firm with many branches, at some point one will have to leave the organization. Huyu anasema morning, usiwahi jaribu hiyo kitu. Anyway, sisi watu wa mjengo, hii swali ni yetu kweli. It's for everyone. Anasema huyu ni who is Max. Anasema yes, then I'll be distracting her at work with suggestive eye contact and winks. Huyu anasema it's your world, date whoever you are attracted to, that is all we know. Ziko mingi sana, and thank you so much for interacting with us this morning. Mwingine anasema finding your type could be anywhere, don't hesitate, go for it. Sawa Mwege? Finding your type, you can find him anywhere, don't hesitate. We have another one here. Yes, when colleague is cute, why not? Anaitwa book mania. Mwingine anasema I've done it before. Mika amesema I can never do such a thing. Okela amesema do not try that. Mimo amesema no. There are no rules. You find your type anywhere. So yes. We have a lot of feedback here. Let's get some from WhatsApp as well. Dating a colleague ni ngumu. Ask teachers. Tumekuwa staff room gossips here and there. You'll end up getting a breakup. So once again, the issue of breakup, of course, inatokea. But Peter, as we wind up and you're the one closing the show for us, breakup. How do we now navigate that as we close? Wewe umechampion sana for dating at work, but a lot of comments that we've seen, it's more about, oh, we fear breakup, it'll happen, that is guaranteed. Wewe utahandle aje such a situation?
For me, I will talk under perspective of faith. In business, we say ubarima fidei, meaning utmost good faith. Faith, we all have faith that having you as my partner, we will do and we hope for the best. So for me, according to the debate, I have championed it that we should work together. And from my point of view, as it stands now, this thing can happen 50-50. Can be 50-50. We can work with our colleague at workplace and experience. Oh, I had another point that I wanted to add. Maybe if you can just allow me.
In 2 seconds.
In 2 seconds, alignment of goals. Working together also will help partners to align their goals and time management. You set your goals there, promotion, you see your financial constraint, your financial matters, so that we call them tabling of issues.
Okay.
You are able to table issues. So for me, I want to tell Kenyans that we can do this thing 50-50.
It can be done.
It can be done.
All right.
And Gen Zs, I want to tell you also to encourage you, don't fear dating and marrying.
At work.
Because it is good.
All right.
Thank you.
There's a very good comment here. It's interesting, not necessarily good. Good is relative. And a future, Nasema, many people saying they can't date at work have never been in such a tempting situation. That brings us to the end of this conversation. Would you date or marry a colleague? It continues on our social media platforms, so keep sending your feedback on our socials, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and YouTube, on my X as well, Ann_Dida. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. See you next time. Good morning.